With the Valero Alamo Bowl coming up at the end of the month, we sat down with UT head coach Steve Sarkisian ahead of their top 20 matchup against Washington. Coach, we were talking about I mentioned this a little while ago, how I was lucky enough to sit down with you before the Washington game 10 years back when you guys played Baylor. And I know you were asked quite a bit of questions about that ball game. Kind of hard to forget given the offensive output. Now, obviously here with UT, coach, and just see if you can speak to the game and what it's become, and really, when you were here 10 years ago, it was already a pretty big deal in terms of, one of the better bowl games.
I think the Alamo Bowl has done an unbelievable job of marketing itself. And when you think about, here's two top 20 teams playing in a bowl game that no other bowl game can claim outside of the New Year's Six. So it's going to be a heck of a game. We're fortunate to be part of it. We got a heck of an opponent. We got a lot of work to do to get ready for the University of Washington. But if you're not in the New Year's Six and you're playing the Alamo Bowl, it's a pretty good deal.
Wrapping up year 2 at UT, a lot of good things happening this year, and it seems like this is a good culmination. I heard you in a previous interview talk about, hey, you guys earned the bowl bid this year. So being able to cap this season with a bowl game.
Well, we're growing. I think we're heading in the right direction. Everybody wants to be a conference champion. Everybody wants to do those things that show progress, but sometimes you have to take the necessary steps, and part of that, our necessary steps, was getting back on the winning side of things and getting to a bowl game, and getting to this game is a great accomplishment.
I'm just curious how a coach nowadays handles everything that he has to handle. It's not as simple, and maybe it never was simple, but it's even more complex than it was before when you take everything into account. You have time to breathe nowadays with everything going on?
Yeah, I love what I get to do. I say this jokingly, but I mean it. Every day I walk into our building, I love what I get to do. And I love our players. I love who they are. I love the way they represent themselves. And they're not perfect. That's okay. My job is to support them and to build them up. And these kids give all that they have to their craft. And we're fortunate to work with them. Those are real life decisions, that these kids have to go through. And then our job there then is to support them to make the best decisions that they can. And I'm fortunate to be around great people, for sure.
How about playing in a bowl game that essentially is going to be like a home game? In some kind of way. I know the atmosphere is a little bit different, but in terms of the folks who are going to travel down from Austin, and the fact that, of those 65,000 plus, the overwhelming majority will be Horns fans.
Super pumped. We've got great fans. And the idea that there's going to be a bunch of burnt orange and white in there, I'm fired up about that for sure.
And speaking of fired up, Coach, I imagine with the trajectory of the program that we just talked about, I know you got a bowl game in front of you and there's a lot of things happening in the now, but big picture, excited about where this program is going?
Yeah, I'm fired up. We're doing it the right way. I think our kids are doing it the right way. And that's what this process is about. It's about growth. And I think we're growing in the right direction, the right way, which is, to me, the most important thing.
10 years later, and he looks exactly the same. How'd you do it, Coach?
I don't look the same, man. I don't look the same. I saw a picture of me from the last deal. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was not, no. Anyhow.
We appreciate the time, Coach.
All right, brother.
All right, we'll see you soon. And we'll have plenty more on the Valero Alamo Bowl. Leading up, we'll look back at some of the game's biggest moments, the history that UT and Washington have helped lay, as well as a specific preview for the December 29th contest.